Hi, welcome to the fourth day of Christmas. We're talking today about the Bonding Memories glue. And this comes in two different forms. We have the large tube, which is $6.95, and then we've got the 451, which is the glue pen. And they have the same basic material in them, but they're used a little differently. So we'll talk about some different things we can do with that. It's a great, well, before we go on to how you use it, let's talk about how you store it. You're going to want to store these tip up. You don't want to store them laying down, and you definitely don't want to store them tip down because the glue will seep out. When you get your pens for the very first time, the tip is going to look white. And then when you first press down and depress that tip, slowly the glue will leach down and it will start turning a light blue, and that's when you know it's getting good and wet and you can see that the glue is there and ready to use. So, one thing it's great for is a temporary adhesive. Now, say if you had cut some little envelopes on the Cricut, and I don't know that I would do this for putting through the mail. I can't say because I haven't tried it, but it makes a really great temporary adhesive for if you're just doing a little envelope you want to hand somebody and have them be able to open it easily. So what you do is you're just going to take your glue and you're going to run a strip of it on the inside of the flap, and you can see how that shines a little bit, don't know. But that will just dry, then you let it sit and dry, and when it dries tacky. And so you're going to be able to just close that envelope up, and it'll make a nice seal, but it's still, you're able to open it and not rip the envelope. So that's kind of cool. Another thing you can do with it being a temporary adhesive is to do masking. Makes a great adhesive to make a mask. So let's say I want to make two stars here. I've stamped this one in cranberry, and I'm going to want to put another one behind it with chocolate ink so it looks like it's actually behind this one. So what I've done is I've stamped the same image on a piece of lightweight paper like computer paper, put some of that glue on the back and let it dry so it's just tacky, and then we're going to lay this right over the image here to mask that image off, and then I'm going to ink up my same stamp in chocolate, and I'll stamp it right over the top of the mask so that when I take this off, peel it right off, and that won't damage your cardstock, your stamped image there, then you get that dimensional look. And then you can reuse this mask. You can just store it in your envelope with your stamp set, and it's always there then to be able to reuse. So that is a fun thing to do, using it as a temporary adhesive. Now, it also works as a permanent adhesive doing some other things. One thing is, if you want to use chipboard, and let's say you want to cover it with paper. There's different things you can do with chipboard, but one is to actually cover it with our paper. So I choose what side I want to be covering it with. I'm going to apply the glue with either the pen or the larger one right to the top surface, what's going to be my facing surface that I'm going to want to see in the end. Cover it with the glue, lay it face down on the back side of the paper because I want the other side to show. Glue it down really good, then use your craft knife and cut around it, and then when you cut it out, you're actually going to have the other side of the paper showing. And so there's a letter L that's been done, and it just makes a really great adhesive for doing it on chipboard. Also, our My Creations items, like our star, work really well when you want to be gluing our papers onto the items, whether it's boxes or the star, anything like that. And so you're going to take your glue and put it on the back of the paper, stick it down, hold it, and press for 30 seconds to give it a really good bond. And that's a terrific way to cover your My Creations items. Another fun thing to do is glitter application. So if you take your dimensional element, say, and just coat it with your glue and then sprinkle it with your Prisma glitter, it makes a great glittery surface. Don't know how well that's showing, but it's a terrific way to apply glitter. You can do it on something like that. You can also use it on a card. It makes great snow. And so if you just put, using the little pen for this works good because your pen has a little chiseled tip on it, so you can really get some good detail in there. And so just a little coating. This is a card I did a couple years ago with a big workshop, and the people loved it because it's quick and easy, and it just gives some really neat little sparkly accent for snow. So there's a couple ideas for using glitter with that. Now, I'm going to tell you my very favorite current thing to do with my Bonding Memories glue, and that is to re-stick my Cricut mats. If you use your Cricut a lot, you'll find that your mat kind of loses its tackiness. So what you want to do is clean it off really good first. Scrape and remove any little bits of paper that are sticking on there, any little hairs or anything. Get it all scraped off nice and clean. And then what you do is you use your Bonding Memories, the big one, and you just totally coat it from one end to the other. You want to stay inside the margins here where the rollers are going to roll, but coat the whole thing, let it dry overnight, and then it's ready to reuse. Now here's one that I have restuck, and I don't know if you can see, but you'll be able to see some kind of streaks where the glue has been applied. You can kind of see it shining in the light there, and that you'll see that, and you'll know that you've used the Bonding Memories on it, and it doesn't hurt anything to have that streaking showing there, and boy, does that give your life to your mats again. It's a great way. It's so economical and a wonderful way to make your mats ready to use again. So that's our Bonding Memory glue. You're going to want to use it on lots of different things and have fun. Thanks for listening.